There's lots of Bengal fans. I would say all Bengal fans are really hoping the Bengals can extend Jessie Bates. And, they have yet to, agree on an extension. It is kind of interesting. Sam Hubbard was extended before Bates, which I think to a few people might have surprised them. And, Jamal Adams, the safety of the Seahawks, there's rumors he might get four-year contract, around $70 million. So I would say Bates might get somewhere near that. And Bates was asked about a contract extension talks, and he said, I guess I haven't done enough yet to be considered one of the top safeties in the league. So what are your kind of thoughts on this whole Jessie Bates situation?
Jordan, I think everyone's jumping the gun a little bit. I really feel, and I'm not in the Bengals organization, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I think they're going to extend him possibly like right after the last preseason game. I think like the first week of September, they're going to give him a 4-year deal. And it's going to be, as you said, it's going to be somewhere in the 14 million. I'm thinking like 14 to 16 million a year range. So my prediction is Jessie Bates signs beginning of September, 4 years, $56 million. He's the influence that he's had on the team and getting everyone to voluntaries and being a leader and being on the verge of being not just a Pro Bowler, but an All-Pro last year. Everyone's, again, jumping the gun and nervous because they're not throwing money at him right away. Sometimes teams like to wait a few weeks. They like to see if everyone makes it through training camp healthy. But I know he's in their plans, and I know they're going to re-sign him before the season starts. They're not going to let him go into the season as a lame duck and, like lose enthusiasm for the team and then franchise tag him next year. Like, I don't see that whole situation. Again, I'm not in the organization. I can't definitively speak on it, but I'm saying in September, 4 years, $56 million, Jessie Bates is a Bengal for the long term.
I agree. To me, I think, some people think it might be, more money. I think it is possible, but at the same time, we have to look about, who we're dealing with here. This is the Bengals, who are, quite, well known for at times underpaying, their homegrown guys. Whitworth, he was shocked, he was lowballed an offer. And with Bates, to me, I feel like there will be eventual contract extension finished, but I really feel like people are overreacting about this right now. I did a episode earlier today. I don't remember the topic me and my guests were talking about, but I kind of brought up the draft and training camp, in my opinion, are the 2 times a year where NFL fans overreact more than any more part of the season. I feel like training camp, there's so much buzz. People are itching for storylines and for the season to come back. In the regular season, you kind of, a small storyline kind of gets blown out of proportion. Like that Russell Wilson situation we saw back in March, where he supposedly wanted traded and everything like that. But to me, I feel like this is one of those situations and storylines where, in a way, it's kind of blown out of proportion. And I feel like the Bengals know what they're doing. One of the few times they know what they're doing. I feel like we will get an extension done with Bates, maybe for or around 65, 70, because I really feel like the Bengals, I feel like we have a best roster we've had since at least 2015. Bates is our best player, I would say, not only on defense, but on our team in general right now. And they want to lock him up for the long term. Because if we ever go to a long playoff run or, even go to the Super Bowl, I feel like Bates is going to be a part of our team then. So I really feel like they might actually pay him the price he's worth, maybe around that 15, 16 range for maybe about 4 or 5 years, something like that. But overall, I would be more surprised if we didn't extend him than if we did.
I agree with you. And you're right. When March and May rolls around, we're all just starving for any football news. So any story becomes magnified. So, I agree with you on that end. And I do agree with you that they are going to sign Bates. I'm saying $14 million a year. You're saying 15, 16 million, but you know what? It's probably going to be somewhere right in the middle of that.
And I mean, if it is, that's perfect in my opinion. I mean, really think about it. For instance, look at the Josh Allen contract. He's making, with his extension, $43 million over the next 6 years, which is absolutely crazy. But by the time his contract is over with, as crazy as this sounds, $43 million per year for a quarterback is actually going to be cheap. And, by this time, let's say Bates goes the 14, 15, 16, around that range for a 4 or 5 year deal. I feel like that is pretty cheap considering last season he was the best safety in the league. It's not biased. You look at the stats and his overall play, and look at the grades and everything. I feel like once this extension is done, and actually, it's going to be a really nice deal because by the time this 4 years are up, 15 per year for a top safety is going to be really, really cheap. So I feel like we would get him for 14 or 15. It's crazy as it sounds. I think it might actually be a steal.
You know, a very good point. And the reality is whether they 4-year deal or they franchise tag him, which I don't think they're going to do, they're not letting him leave the building. So, Bengals fans out there, relax. Jessie Bates is going to be part of the long-term plan one way or the other. And, as we talked about, I'm hoping that they just do the right thing and give him a nice fat contract before the season starts and get him extra motivated.